Yeah! I said yeah! NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? I hope you're all right. Why is that, Jim? Well, you should be, because it's Thursday. And basically, what is it? Thursday, December 12th. I hereby say that you can just stop working. Like, this is the exact moment in time that everyone just goes, oh, I'm done. Oh, pack her up, boys. I think we're finished. Seriously, who does work next week? No, I mean, your mate Jim will be because I have a lot of work to do. But yeah, otherwise, this is the time where it's just the silly season. We're all drinking tins. We're all hanging out. We're not doing any work. I'm still doing shows, though, but still. Anyway, good time of the year, I'll tell you that much. I am your host, James Clements. You can see my ugly mug on the panel, the official NBL Supercoach show. You can also see me on the AFL Today show, NFL Straya, here in the fancy studios to wrap up an absolutely chaos day of the NBA Cup. How good was that? Oh, it was pretty good, man. Yeah. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Shock, I tell you, the Knicks. And then we had an absolute belter Rockets-Warriors game, which was a bit of a slog for most of it. But then at the end was just nuts. We'll talk about those in the NBA Straya Game Wraps. I've got a little bit of news about LeBron and Jimmy Butler trade stuff that we talked about yesterday. Oh, geez, that's a fun one. Some other updates. And that'll be kind of it. You know, we've got a preview for all the games tomorrow, but we'll obviously do that on the night. Old mate, no mate, Spud of the night, bet on Lonzo ball. We'll keep doing nars. We'll do the unpopular opinion of the day. We'll do Outback Takehouse. And I think we've got it's not so much a great moment in NBA Straya state history. It's more of a combination Shane Hill, shooters shoot, Luke Longley role player of the week. I have mentioned him before. He's one of my favorite old-timey players as well. So it's a bit of a throwback. We'll have that later in the show. And then we'll pick and preview the games for tomorrow. There's only 3 of them, so that'll be good. Nice one. Seriously, it's very good. Anyway, before we get into it, remember, follow my vibes. Every morning I do the videos, just saying what my thoughts are for that day's games. You can follow those vibes. Click on the link in the show description here. Go to Dabble and follow your mate Jim. I'm just saying, go check it out. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1174 of NBA Straya. Oh, let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek.
This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack.
You better watch out for the Ernie attack. If you're the board that Shaq broke yesterday, there was a very nice little skit where Ernie's like, hey, I know how to fix this, and threw the ball at it and broke it more, which was very funny. Then there was the very funny part today where it's like Kenny's like something. All right, you think of Jay-Z, and Chuck's like, probably not a good time right now. And quite literally made everybody on the set laugh, and everyone's like, oh, God. Shaq's falling out of his chair. Ernie's just like, oh, God, but laughing. It's no laughing matter. Just saying. Not at all related is that LeBron's taking some time off for personal reasons. I don't know, the Diddy files, anybody? Just, I don't know. You go to a couple of parties, they get a bit wild. Isn't that like right, LeBron? Gall. Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start here at NBA Straya. Every show with the daily, it's a whip around. Hey, remember yesterday where we were like, let's rank the 5 Jimmy Butler trade destinations where we want to see him land? I threw this out into the other. We got some good answers back. We'll talk about those in the NRs. My favorite one, though, was that Shams, you know my antipathy towards Shams, right? I think he's a bit of a hack journo and isn't a like, and when I say, I use the phrase journalist really loosely when it comes to Shams because he's just a newsbreaker. And when I say he's a newsbreaker, I mean he's funneling PR reports from agents and teams and sources to the public, right? And what you do in this case is it's a lot of bull tickling. It's a lot of he said, she said. I'm just going to put it out there and I have, like, he doesn't have to deal with any consequences. You know, that's what I'm saying? And he's also a horrible writer. To which Jimmy Butler's agent, Bernie Lee, every time I say Bernie Lee, I think of Bernie Mac. That'd be great if he was he died, but yeah. It'd be great if you had a dude to look like Bernie Mac as your agent. It's like bug-eyed, just the funniest dude on the planet. That'd be great. Anyway, Bernie Lee came out and just put Shams on blast. He's like, all right, listen, I gave you a pass yesterday because I was busy, but if you don't stop putting my name on your complete and utter made-up bullshit because you know normally aren't worth my time to acknowledge, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm a middle-aged dad, but just know it would indicate severe dislike. World, all this is fabricated. I've never, and honestly, it wouldn't help me or the position I represent to do anything that's been reported by said, air quotes, journalist. Brap, 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 brap. Hey, kids, want to see a dead body? It gets better. Because then, Shams goes, fuck that, I'm doubling down. He also wants to go to the Suns. I've heard it from his agent. And his agent is just like, the fuck you. Shams, this is your opportunity to say, my bad, I let ChatGPT write my tweets, and it went old school Peter Vesky. Shams, Peter is a writer from the 90s. Be a trendsetter. Invent the new I was hacked. Carry on all. Thank you. Yes! Got him! You're out! Quapang! That was awesome. So not only is Bernie just being like, Shams, you're not even writing your fucking idiot tweets. A, they're wrong. B, you're a fucking hack. C, you're making shit up, you dickhead. Love it. And then he has the Peter Vesky crack at him. That was just kissing fingers emoji. So Shams goes, no, man. No, from my sources, it's not all bullshit. He also wants to maybe go to Phoenix. I'm like, what annoys me the most about Shams is that there is so very little actual nuance and context in a lot of the shit that he just throws out there. He's like, he would like to go to the Phoenix Suns. It's like, okay, Shams, how would he get there? So he would like to go to the Phoenix Suns. He's basically ChatGPT if you made it a fucking person. Devoid of any personality, just a weird fucking unit, and doesn't have a shred of actual fucking weird basketballing knowledge, you feel like, right? It's bizarre. It's a bit fucking weird. Because how would he get to the Phoenix Suns? How would he get to, as reported yesterday, the Houston Rockets or Dallas? There's no fucking way for the very most part that any of these teams can make deals like that work because Jimmy Butler has a huge fucking contract. It's nuts. It makes zero fucking sense. This is, quite literally, the epitome and the idealized version of clickbait. And that's what he is. He's a clickbait merchant. That's fine. So am I. Top 5 Jimmy Butler trade destinations, go! But also, at the same time, I try to make sure that, this shit kind of fucking works. And we're trying to talk about stuff in a vaguely intelligent way most of the time. Next up, LeBron on Diddy's list. No, fuck off. So LeBron, this was a really fun, interesting news thing today. He was away for personal reasons. Everyone's like, oh, God, is he pressuring the Lakers? Is he forcing a trade to the Warriors? Oh, my God, he's not at practice. It's like he's fucking about to turn 40. He's probably planning his party. He's like, Taco Tuesday, 40th birthday, let's fucking go, woo! Also, his son is playing his first road game in the G League in Phoenix. So it just feels like LeBron's going, fuck it, we're going to Phoenix. I'm taking the day off. Adio, motherfuckers. Or he's just got a sick note. Do you reckon they do that in the NBA? That'd be great. So, yeah, doctor said I shouldn't go to work today. It's just fucking, I don't know, something's wrong. It's like, did you have to put that in through Workday? What are we doing here? I like this. Anyway, away from personal reasons, that set the internet aflame. And then everyone went, it was for practice and he might still play their next games. It's just a bit fucking stupid. Other little bits and bobs, Maxi Strus. This is actually pretty good for the Cavs. He's actually going to make his debut seemingly this weekend against the Wizards. Talk about a team that needs that one extra dude who can fucking shoot the piss out of it off the bench. Boom. If Max Strus can find his old actual form and being able to hit shots, that'd be good. He and Ty Jerome and my sweet baby Karis LeVert, the minivan, George Niang, a.k.a. the G-Spot, a.k.a. the G-Wagon. Off we go. I saw one of those G-Wagons the other day. I'm like, the G-Spot. That was a good episode, that one. Remember when you couldn't remember what the G-Wagon was for about 10 minutes, Jim? Yes, I do. It was pretty funny. Producer Gerald's like falling over, fucking laughing at me. Anyway, Maxi Strus, that'd be good. Because, I mean, basically the Cavs are already just curb stomping everybody, right? That's good. If you get more shooting on that team, you're feeling much better about a lot of things, because that's the one thing that every so often it sort of just gets a bit wonky on them. Other little bits and bobs. That was a good injury update. A bad one. Scotty Barnes out for at least a couple of weeks, seemingly. Got imaging done. It's a very bad ankle sprain. This is the dude who, our very own stats boy, he was like, oh, jeez, he fucking cost me my multi. And I'm like, his foot nearly came off his fucking leg, buddy. Just, what do you know, fucking troll him on the internet next? Stats goes, oh, geez, Jim, I didn't know that. I'm like, all right, buddy, it's okay. But Scotty Barnes saying, I can't feel my foot. And Stats boy's like, get another fucking rebound, you coward. It's like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, but Scotty Barnes out for a couple of weeks. It sucks for the Raptors because they had sort of turned a corner, but by the same token, the more games they lose, let's all be honest, it's probably the better for the Raptors, right? It's like kind of forced tanking because you're not going to win shit this year. Your team's bad. But they have an interesting game against Miami tomorrow. But anywho, and then speaking of shit teams, the Wizards. I love this one because we can fire this one up. Oh, it is increasingly likely that the Washington Wizards will want to trade veterans Jonas Valanciunas and Malcolm Brogdon. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. They're also going to check out the trade market for Kyle Kuzma. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. Oh, dude! That's the entire fucking point. They're on the fucking team. What are we doing here? Like, Malcolm Brogdon's not out there. Jonas Valanciunas and Malcolm Brogdon out there to provide leadership for Alex Sarr and Bilal Koulibaly. It's like, hey, Jonas, do you speak French? He's like, I fucking hate the French. He's like, wait, no, that was a French accent. He's like, wait a minute. Yes, he's me hate the French. Huh? I fell into French again. No, I can't get it. I can't get my head around it. I don't like French. It's kind of close enough. Just big beard, just him saying that. He doesn't like the French. Google it. Anyway. Outside of this, the trade market for Kyle Kuzma. As I said on yesterday's show, the funniest thing in the world is just going, all right, fuck it. We'll trade 2 first, Kyle Kuzma, and whatever the fuck else they want to the Lakers for LeBron and Bronny. And just fucking ruin LeBron's life. He's got a no trade clause, but still. The Wizards will be active at the trade deadline, you think. Or do. Okay. Let's do some game wraps from today's 2 insane NBA Cup games. Game wraps. Oh, yes. The Atlanta Hawks visiting the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. Mama said knock you out. How good was that when they were like ripping off the Mama said knock you out intro music? That was fun. And that's exactly what the Hawks did to the Knicks. 108-100. I'll tell you what. This was a game. Oh, yeah. This was nuts. The Knicks looked absolutely fucking solid, chilling, cruising, laughing, right? They're up 7 at the half. Brunson was having a bit of a rough time, but Cat's like scoring at will. Bridges was handy. Like Josh Hart was scoring just like everything in the paint. It was nuts. Up 7 at the half. You're feeling pretty good. Jalen Brunson couldn't kind of free himself of Dyson Daniels. And then in the third quarter, Atlanta just gave it the old bam, let's kick this up a notch. And that's exactly what they fucking did. It was nuts. The Knicks, who have been the best offensive rated team in the NBA this season, managed to then score 18 points in the third quarter. They then gave up 34. I don't know about you, but that's bad. It was a 21-point turnaround. It was absolutely gnarly. And there was a point where the Knicks are just like, should we just give them the ball? That's what they did. They were so afraid of Dyson Daniels, it completely discombobulated the Knicks offense, which was wild to watch just unravel. And they're just like, Dyson Daniels is over there. We've got to get action away from him, and like we're going to get Brunson into a switch, and oh my God, we've turned it over. And it's just like Dyson Daniels had 0 steals, but like probably caused about 6 of them. Like it was fucking insane to sort of see how afraid they were. Like Jalen Brunson couldn't do anything in this NBA basketball game like with two eyes pointing towards like what he wanted to do. He always had one eye just going, where the fuck is Dyson Daniels? Oh, fuck, he's over there. Can't pass it that way. He's going to cut it. He was freaking out. It was nuts. And DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, Trae Young were all hitting their shots, and they fucking curb stomped them down the street. It was nuts to watch. It was really fucking fun. They just sort of kept them at arm's length in that fourth quarter. It was like, yeah, that's cute, but your defense isn't good enough to stop us, and our defense has stopped you already. So let's just go fucking bucket for bucket. And they did. It was all like, you kind of kept waiting for the Knicks like avalanche to sort of, it's all kicked back in. And it just never came. It never happened. And this is the thing. I've talked about this before when it comes to the Knicks, right? Because they've only got 6 dudes. Oh, what about campaign? They've only got 6 dudes. Campaign does not count. Precious Achua, bless you, is also pretty good, but he's not like the guy that you sort of turn to and go, save us, Precious. And he's like, yeah, nah, Jim, can't do that. They've got the 6 dudes that Tibbs believes in. He's only playing 8 guys anyway, and 2 of them are kind of useless. And if Q Grimes has a bit of a shit night, you go, oh, we'll still probably be fine. If Jalen Brunson has a bit of a shit night, you're like, we'll probably maybe be fine. That's your tipping point. You can't have more than 2 of your dudes be shit in a particular night if you're the Knicks. And they had like 4. Like, OG could not fucking hit a shot. Campaign was fucking horrible. Q Grimes is pretty... Q Grimes. Deuce McBride. Did I say Q Grimes before? Yeah, it's Deuce McBride. In my brain, they're basically the same player, but still. They had Deuce McBride. Brunson obviously struggled. Cat was really good. He was fine. Bridges was very inefficient. And you're like, they're just going to lose this game now, aren't they? And they did. Like, it was wild. So, props to Atlanta for just outworking them. They out-rebounded them by like, I think it was like 9 or 10. They took 10 more shots basically because of that. It was like, they had 10 more offensive boards, 22-12. Like, that's just what they did. The Knicks went 11-42 from downtown. Atlanta only went 9-31 because Bogdan had a bit of a shit night. And Trae Young, despite having, like, you'll see all the headlines, Trae Young smashes Knicks, whatever, he still kind of shot like shit. He had 22 points on 22 shots. It's Trae Young after all. But they just outworked him in the paint. It was absolutely crazy to watch. It was really fun to watch too because Clint Capella and your mans Onyeka Okongwu and DeAndre Hunter absolutely but my favorite, my favorite. Who's your favorite, Jim? Jalen fucking Johnson. I've been screaming this from the treetops all bloody season that he's a super duper star. Are you starting to believe me yet? Maybe not a super duper star, but he's an absolute fucking star, and I love him. I love him. So points in the paint. What do you reckon it was? Yeah, if you get 66-54, fuck me dead. That's not bad for a Hawks team. And look, it's very fucking annoying because yesterday I was like, I had written down Atlanta plus 6.5. And as I went through the stats and as I talked them out on yesterday's show, it's like, yeah, look, points per game defensively and offensively, they're actually surprisingly kind of similar. But the offensive rating for the Knicks is super high and Atlanta's is a bit shit. I'll go with the numbers. I'll go with the Knicks at home. A little bit too tough for Trae Young. Fuck. Should have gone with my bloody heart. Never go with your head, Jim. Your head's fucking just a mess. It's like, yes, look at it. I mean, goddamn. Anyway, so for the Knickerbockers, Cat, very good game for him. 19-19-5. But it's one of those things you go, oh, yeah, can you go to Cat down the stretch? Is he going to carry you home? It's like, maybe not so much. He ends up shooting 7 of 15, 2 of 6 from deep. The 19 board's handy, but he fouls out, and you're like, yep, that checks out. Tell you what, you also had Bridges go 19, 4 and 2, but he shot 9 of 17, but the 1 of 5 from downtown was the one that killed you. In a game where you just need a couple of those threes to drop, he was nowhere to be found. Josh Hart had 21, 8 and 6. He was awesome. 8 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 5 from deep. But again, he's not your like late clock killer dude. He's your junk bucket dude. Like that's what Josh Hart does. Junk buckets, love it. The tough one was Brunson and OG Deuce because Brunson goes 5 of 15 for 14 points, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, only 2 of 6 from 3. OG though, brutal, 13 points, 5 of 17, 1 of 9 from downtown. And Deuce, as mentioned, 2 of 8, 1 of 5 from 3. Just that is your killer thing. That's your tipping point. If you've got more than half your team playing like that and that inefficient, you're cooked. When you've got no other like go-to move, if you're the Knicks, it's a pain in the ass. Campaign was 7 on 7 shots as well. Precious, 19 minutes, 2 points, 5 rebounds. Who fucking cares? The Hawks, though. Trae Young, 22 and 11. Amazing game. 5 rebounds as well, I think. Only 3 2-and-overs. As mentioned, though, he shot 8 of 22. And, like, usually you'll fucking take it. But the 11 assists, he fucking killed it. He and Dyson Daniels were slinging around everywhere. Dyson Daniels just got, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 extra assists, completely fucking just disappeared because his Spud teammates kept fucking up and like bobbling his passes and turning it over and all this dumb shit. I'm like, look what they're massacring my boy. Come on. It was brutal, but he was still very good. He had 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting. He had a couple of weird little putbacks as well that just were tough rolls. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 0 steals, but as mentioned, probably caused about 6. Jalen Johnson. Oh, this is why I need to watch the YouTube. I've just got like prayer hands emoji, fucking bang. What a game. 21, 15, and 7. Woo-wee! He was good. 2 steals and 2 blocks as well. It's like, just, can we supercharge John Collins and make him good? It's like, oh, we just did that. It's like, fucking hell, that's awesome. And how's this for your center combo, right? You go Clint Capella, 11 and 13, and then 12 and 11 for a Kongwu. That's better than Cat's 19 and 19, I'll tell you. Bogdan, tough shooting night for him. 1 of 7 from downtown as well for his 7 points. But how good is DeAndre Hunter? 24 points. What is it? Fucking 4 or 5 from 3. I think it's the first time he's ever had 3 straight games of like over making 3 threes and stuff like this. He has been unreal like the last 2 weeks. It's like, what? Where was this? He's like, oh, I just fucking love coming off the bench. You're like, sure, this is great. He's been fantastic, and he was the difference. So the Hawks, that is a huge one. They got fuck all from Zachary Ricochet. Jonas Valanciunas hates him because he's French. But still, Ricochet was bad. We don't really put the old rookies on the old Spud of the night, but he had a Spud-worthy 1 of 8, 0 of 4 from downtown night. Brutal in 17 minutes. But Hawks hold on to win. Awesome game. Great game. They will now play the Milwaukee Bucks in Vegas in the semifinal. How good is that? And then game number 2. Chaos reigns. How good was that? And when I say good, I mean shit. And when I say shit, I mean insane. Like, what a stupid ending to a basketball game. Billy, what was that call at the end of that? Like, that was a horrible fucking foul call. The ball's on the ground. It's just a scrum. It's like, nah, it's a foul, says Billy Kennedy. And you're like, when has that ever been a foul? When it's like the ball's on the ground, it's loose, and if everybody just fucking scrums onto it, right? That's how it goes. That's basketball. We've all been there. We've all done that. He's like, nah, that was a foul. 2 free throws to Houston. And Steve Kerr's like, I'm going to shoot every motherfucker in here. Like, I got punched in the head by Michael Jordan once. I will fight all you motherfuckers. I will call my son. This is a joke for you here, Gerald. This is for real as well. If your last name was Kerr, so here's Steve Kerr, would you call your son Nick? Would you? Because I wouldn't. It's like, oh, what's his name? Nicholas Kerr. Okay, so how do you shorten Nick? No. It's like Callum Murray. Like, it's Callum Murray. Like, you can't. How do you not think these things out? Like, I've named children. They're mine. It'd be fucking weird if I named somebody else's kids. But, like, you have a list and you go, that one works, or dig that. And you sort of toss around all the combinations and shit around. You're like, it checks out. It's all good. At some point, you're going to go, my last name's Kerr. All right. So, no. Nicholas, that's a great name. Hey, what do we call people who names are Nicholas? So, Nick, usually. What's our last name? No, don't. What are you doing? So, Steve Kerr clearly just gives 0 fucks, right? Like, we all know the history about his dad and all this sort of shit. But that doesn't excuse that. And he should also I expected him to just start punching on. It was fucking nuts. I loved it. It was insane. But the lead up to that, what are you fucking doing, Golden State? there was like 3 seconds between 4 or 5 seconds or whatever it was between the shot clock and the game clock. I quite literally this morning picked the Warriors going, I think their big game experience is probably the thing that gets them over the hump. And I looked very smart, and they still covered, just saying. But down the stretch, it was Houston hitting the big shots, Draymond making really fucking stupid turnovers, and then Steph taking his this big long fucking three. It's like, yes, you're Steph Curry, you've earned this, that's fine. But burn a couple of more seconds because that leads to the scrum where the ball gets tipped out. Gary Payton II, a.k.a. the mitten, he ends up on the ground and for some fucking reason decides to just pass the ball while laying on the ground, to nobody. And, on the end of it is, Jalen Green going, fucking okay. And Johnny Kuminga's like, let's all get the ball. Stacks on the mill. And then they call a fucking foul. And you're like, all of this was fucked. All of it. What the fuck? So Jalen Green hits both free throws, and then it gets even fucking dumber because they inbound the timeout, right, for your Warriors. Move it up to half court. Okay. And Podziemski's got the ball. You've got 5 seconds to inbound the ball, right? It was at least a fucking 8 count. All numbers, approximate. But gee, it was the longest 5 seconds I've ever seen. And they sort of get it in, and he gets it back and gets it blocked. You're like, game over. Amazing for the Rockets, but also, what the fucking fuck, Warriors? Holy shit, that was absurd. And does it feel like this is the downfall of the Warriors kind of moment? You're just like, yeah, you now have to just go trade for Jimmy Butler now because you fucked it. It was so out of character. They had a 7-point lead with a minute to go. And they completely screwed the pooch. The way they got there was incredible as well, because this game was fucking horrible at the start. They couldn't hit a shot, but neither could the Rockets. I think there was it was 44-37 of the half. And that was because the Warriors scored a bunch of points right at the end of the second quarter to make it fucking close. And you're like, how are they only 7 points down? This is nuts. They had 14 turnovers in the first half. They shot 4 of 22 from downtown. And then in the third quarter, it's like, oh, hang on a second. Now we're feeling it. Let's go. They had a really nice opening to the third quarter. They got it down to 2 points. It's 43-45, 45-47. They just keep trading buckets. It's 65-67. They take a lead at 69. Nice. 67 at the three-quarter break. They have the lead. You're like, oh, shit. Lindy Waters, the man with the worst hair in the NBA right now. He hits a three. You're like, bang, let's go. Buddy Hield hits another three. The Warriors take the lead. He had 11 points in the quarter, did Buddy. They lead by a point going to the fourth, and they keep their noses in front the entire way, and they get 2 massive threes from Lindy Waters the third, and then Johnny Cumbucket Kuminga, a.k.a. Cum Dog Millionaire, to go up 7. And you're up 6 minutes to go. You're fucking laughing. They're back up 4 after the Lindy one. And then Houston have this horrible turnover after, I don't know, Jabari Smith drags it back into it. But they're up 89-82, and the Warriors are cruising. There's 3.5 minutes left. Draymond fouls Şengün, and that's the exact moment that he's like, You can just see it just flash across his brain. He's like, is Turkey in Europe? Do I hate this guy, and do I want to throat punch him or not? Do I want to fucking just slam him into the ground and beat his head into the floor? Do I? Is Turkey in Europe? And you just see it, it's consuming him or something. Anyway, he's just trying to figure out if he should go full ham or not. Van Vliet nails a three. It's a 3-point game, a minute and a bit to go. And then there's another horrible Draymond turnover. Şengün scores after another fuck up where they couldn't get the rebound. And then they've got that entire horrible sequence that I just detailed of Curry shooting too early, the scrum on the floor, GP2 just fucking cooking it, and it's just Rockets are going to Vegas. It's amazing. I forgot to actually mention that Trae Young was throwing dice on the Knicks logo at MSG, which is pretty funny. People got bent out of shape about that. It's fucking win the game and then you can have a sook, you idiots. Anyway, so the way that this sort of finishes up, 90-91, the Rockets win. The Warriors, rough night, 12 of 38 from downtown. it's just, don't know. No Wiggins, always a bit tough. They had 15 turnovers. So as I mentioned, they had 14 in the first half. So they were awesome in the second half. But wow, dig yourself a hole. The thing is, the Rockets only went 6 of 27 from three. So it was, if you double up your opponent's 3-point makes, you usually win that game. And the Warriors did not, because they kept giving up the ball. They even out-rebounded the Rockets, which is pretty crazy because the Rockets are like one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA. I think they might be the best. And the free throws are basically the same. It quite literally just came down to execution, and the Rockets executed just that little bit better down the stretch, which was fucking nuts. So for the Warriors, he had only 19 points and 8 of 17 shooting for Steph. He had 5 assists. He only had the 1 turnover. He had 20 and 7 for Cum Bucket. He was bloody good, but also missed some gimmies late. He was 8 of 20 from the floor for those 20 points. Draymond with a triple single of 8, 3, and 4. A couple of steals. He had 5 turnovers and just an absolute Barry Crocker shocker late. He had 15 from Buddy Hield, 3 and 9 from deep. And probably not enough else from everywhere else. Like, they really miss Wiggins. And like Buddy, 6 of 12 shooting, you're like, yeah, we'll take that. It just wasn't quite enough. Lindy Waters with an 8 points. You had Podziemski with 8, but Podziemski was 3 of 9, 2 of 6 from deep. It's like, we played 12 guys. It's like, yeah, but are any of them good? Like, what the fuck, man? So, like, it's one of those ones where you're like, I feel like we could have played Kyle Anderson more if you're the Warriors. Like, that's not an answer, but here we are. So, yeah, bit of a rough one. 12 of 38 from 3. You double up the Rockets' 3-point makes, and you lose. C'est brutal. For the Rockets, Jabari Smith, he had 15 points, 6 of 11 shooting. I really like Jabari Smith. He has these moments where he hit that big three with 6 minutes or something left. And you're like, yeah, do that. And then he missed the next one. You're like, oh. And then his just confidence was gone. Tough one. He only had 1 rebound. How can you be that fucking tall and have 1 rebound in 38 minutes on a basketball court? That makes that's like me getting 1 rebound. Like, my knee's shot, my legs hurt, my foot hurts. Fuck you, I don't want to jump. You're like 21, bro. Get a fucking more than 1 rebound. LP Şengün, he was unreal. 26, 11 and 5 with 3 steals. Dylan Brooks, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Like the 4 of 8 shooting, missed both of his threes. Jalen Green, 5 of 15. Yeesh, nearly cost him the game, but hit those free throws late. His only free throws of the game. He had a sick dunk in there as well. He had 12 points. Fred VanVleet with the 3 of 13, Spud of the night territories for his 8 points. Amen Thompson with 10, 5, and 3. Tari Eason, the Terror Twins, 9 points as well. But so much of this just came down to defense, right, for the Rockets, and they are fucking terrifying, and I absolutely, absolutely love that we get to see the Rockets versus OKC in Vegas. OKC versus Golden State would have been good. But doesn't, Houston OKC feel like a fucking Western Conference Finals preview already? Just saying. That's awesome. Those are 2 fucking really good games, as evidenced by the fact that I just screamed about them for fucking an hour. So anyway, let's get on to it with a bit of a NBA Straya performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Oh, Trae Young, he did the dice on the Knicks logo at MSG. He owns MSG. Well, he does. He fucking earned it. 22 points and 11 assists. That was awesome. Alperen Şengün, he hits the big bucket late. So they fucked up that second last possession and got the ball back. And LP just all right, give it to me. Maybe I'll be the dude. Bang, off he goes. He has the 26, 11, and 5 with 3 steals, 10 of 18 shooting. God, he's good. He's just fucking good. Trae and LP, well done to both of them. How about a Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
So Fred VanVleet was absolutely on a Spud of the night heater, and then he hits a massive 3 late in that one. He ends up with 3 of 13, 2 of 9 from downtown, 8 points, 7 assists, 4 turnovers. Brutal. But as mentioned, Jalen Brunson, 5 of 15 shooting, and the OG Anunoby, 13 points on 5 of 17. Brutal. He had 3 blocks, 6 rebounds, but still, that is horrible shooting and Now you're out of the NBA Cup. Oh, damn, we'll have a couple of days off. I do like a bit of an Outback Takehouse. Like, it feels like if you're someone like the Sixers or Boston, you're like, yeah, we don't want to go to Vegas. It's like, but think of all the money. It's like, we already have a lot of money. We're NBA players. Like, well, what about the guys at the end of the bench? We'll just give them $100,000. I don't care. Under the table. Like, we'll just do it on the fucking team plane. We'll play a game of cards. Tatum's got more money than God. Fuck it. Right? Like, wouldn't you rather a fucking week off at this point than have to, like, play more games, then go to Vegas? And, like, I love the NBA Cup. But if you're one of these teams and you're like, oh, we're already a bit cooked. We're going to, like, Denver, Boston, Philly, obviously. Like, these sorts of teams will go, oh, no, we missed out on the knockout stages. Oh, damn. We don't have to play for 5 days. This is awesome. It's like, yes. Buy back leave. Let's go. All right. What about old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Old mate, no mates. I absolutely love that Lindy Waters III, A, has the worst hair in the NBA right now, and B, was like randomly that viral thing. So obviously Hawk Tour Girl like goes massive. But there was like a randomly viral sort of clip prior to that where it's like, it's like chatting to like a couple on the street. And it's like, all right, who's your hall pass? Do you have a hall pass? Oh, what's your hall pass? And she's like, instantly, Lindy Waters III. And it's like, what? That is so very fucking weirdly specific where you're like, she definitely already fucked him, bro. I don't know what to tell you. So that's a retroactive hall pass, you feel like, right? Because at that point, he's just like a bit player on OKC. Now he's much more famous playing for the Warriors because they're a much bigger market and a much bigger team. They play even like more fucking nationally televised games. The dude from that old video has got to be like, I fucking hate Lindy Waters III so much. That motherfucker ruined my life. 100%. That's all that was going through my mind watching him and his stupid hair. The other one is obviously Trae Young and MSG. He's like, I get so much love and so much hate here. I love it. It's just like there's a lot of hate, but there's also there's no love, Trae. They all fucking hate you. And like to the point where they're just like, fuck Trae Young. Fuck Trae Young. As he's like shooting free throws or whatever. And you're like, that's all well and good, but he keeps beating you. So kind of sucked in, Knicks fans. I love that. Like, there is fan bases where it's funny when they keep fucking up, and the Knicks fan bases are one of them. I love them. They're insane. But fuck Trae Young. Bing bong. He got you again. Sucked in, dickheads. Pantsing of the night. I think it's this one. Cum Dog Millionaire chose correctly by getting the fucking way out of the road of a Jalen Green dunk. You can see him go, like, record scratch, and that's when I made a business decision. Literally just turns his back and he's like, no, there's nothing happening back there. Oh, did Jalen Green do a sick dunk? Well, I was over here playing defense. It was great. It was an absolute pantser. He just went fucking straight through everybody. Buddy Hield gets out of the road. Cum Dog Millionaire gets out of the road. And they're just like, nah. Love that. That was a fucking like team-wide pantsing basically. And finally, better than Bronny James / Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Obviously Jalen Johnson, but I think we're basically retiring him for better than Lonzo Ball because he is fucking awesome. What a game. What a game. Like, he was just everywhere. He's athletic, he's long, he just can score from like a bunch of different levels. I really like his game. Jeez, Jim, you got a bit of a Jalen Johnson boner. I do. I fucking think I just think he's neat. 21, 15, and 7, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like, just great game. How about a bit of love for Tari Eason? There is a dude who kind of fallen off the face of the planet a little bit. Now he's back healthy, crushing it. 4 of 7, 1 of 1 from downtown, 9.7 rebounds, 1 assist, +4 in a game they win by 1 in his 24 minutes. When he teams up with Amen Thompson, they are literally the Terror Twins. They are so fucking good. And I enjoyed it a lot. So, love me some Tari Eason. His game is like, Houston are fascinating. And that's why I want to see them play like OKC in the semifinal. It's awesome that we get that matchup. Because you just want to see what this team can do. Like, they have Ime Udoka only played the 8 dudes. So the bench was Tari Eason, Amen Thompson, and Aaron Holiday. So Cam Whitmore misses out. Al Jefe Green misses out. Jay-Sean Tate misses out. Obviously, our man Rock'em Sock'em Block'em Jock'em Lando misses out. The number 3 pick in the fucking NBA draft from this year is just not playing. Reed Shepherd. It's like, this is awesome. The Rockets are great. And Tari Eason's a big part of that. So better than Lonzo Ball and Bronny James. All right, let's do some YNRs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood. Yo, what's going on? This is Ellie.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening
Straya.
to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. So Steve Kerr has now gone off on the refs. Was he right to, Jim? Yeah, nah. Yeah. Like, a fucking loose ball on the ground, you're calling foul. So his quote is, a loose ball situation 80 feet from the basket with the game on the line. I've never seen that. I think I saw it in college one time, 30 years ago. Never seen it in the NBA. I don't even understand what happened. Loose ball, diving on the floor, 80 feet from the basket. You're going to give a guy 2 free throws to decide the game when people are scrambling for the ball. Just give him a timeout and let the player decide the game. That's how you officiate. Brat, 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 brat. And then he's like, and also, my son's name is Nick. Jesus. The game was a complete wrestling match. They didn't call anything. Steph Curry got hit on the elbow, plain as day, on a jump shot, no call. You've established that you're not going to call anything throughout the game. It's a physical game. You're going to call a loose ball foul in a jump ball situation with guys diving on the floor with the game on the line. This is $1 billion industry. You got people's jobs on the line. I'm stunned. Our guys battled back, played their asses off, and deserved to win that game, or at least have the chance for one stop. That was taken away from us by a call that I don't think an elementary school referee would have made. Yeah, nah. Yeah, he's right. It was a horrible, fucky way to end that awesome game. It was, in the moment, you're like, no, that's not a what the fuck? Anyway, so Steve Kerr sounding off, and he's right to. Another one here. We had the sort of questions that we're throwing out about Jimmy Butler. Where would be, where should he land if he's going to go get traded? Coolest dude ever said, Warriors have been floated, but I don't see. You've already got Wiggins in great form and Kuminga vying for the same time. Yeah, nah. But I kind of hit on this in yesterday's show. Kick the tires, right? It's like, what do we have to give up to go get Jimmy Butler? Can we go get Jimmy Butler? Interesting. Just give Steph one more dog, and away we go. As I said, he and Draymond on the same team, that is just so much psycho just on one court that I kind of love it. Rory says, Wolves, lol. I love that one too. Aussie Heater, nah, no one offering anything Heat will bite at. Shams is also Shams is also known for not really having any sources with the Heat. I think that's been proven pretty correct by Bernie. Clarky23 says, back to Philly. Lol, like that. Friendly Kitties. Bucks. That's not one I mentioned yesterday. They've got not much to, actually trade for him, but, Giannis, Butts, Dame. Dame Lillard's like, why should I get traded to Miami when I can bring the Miami to me? Like, it'd kind of make the fucking Bucks a bit more fucking fun, wouldn't it? That's a team you do not want to run into in the playoffs, but I just don't think they can get it done. That's some good shit. And then Zach B, Trae Young lives in Knicks fans' heads rent-free. Yeah, it's weird. Like, if he was better, it'd make more sense. But he's been so shit for the last couple of years, basically, where you're like, now you're just fueling him. Like, he's not good. Don't light a fire under his ass. And Knicks fans are like, no, we're lighting this fucking fire. And they're just like lighting it up like a bonfire. And Trae Young's like, okay, I'm going to get you. There's a lot of love here. No, there's not, you idiot. There's a lot of love in here. There's a lot of hate. Is there, Trae? Is there? There's lots of love, you idiot. Anyway, and then finally, this one is written by me. Should the NBA Cup be fucking way longer? Because this is awesome. Yeah, nah. Oh, fucking course. How good are knockout games? They're great. You know what would matter way fucking more throughout an NBA Cup, though? If, just for instance, you would have other fake knockout games, right? This is how tournaments work. In your round robin stages, if you play it for longer, you have more opportunities where it's like, oh shit, these guys need to win this one to stay alive in their group. You know what happened in this year's NBA Cup in the group stages? No, that's right. No one fucking remembers because it happened over a month and it was like fucking 3 games. It was 4, but still. Like, it was over so quickly. There was like no stakes in those last couple of games. Half the teams are already fucking out. It was all bullshit. So give me some more awesome stakes, some awesome knockout shit before we even get to the knockouts. That's how good bigger tournaments work. Let's go, NBA. Sort your shit out. Fuck. He says, exasperated. Anyway, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I don't know if this is unpopular, but I do love that Jalen Brunson gets it. So he was asked about the Trae Young rolling dice on the New York Knicks logo. And it's like, isn't that disrespectful? It's like, no, he's going to Vegas. We're not. Like, if we don't want him to do it, we're going to win. It's like, ooh, yes, he's fucking correct. I think he said we should win the game if we don't want him to do that. Perfect. I love that. I love Jalen Brunson's wicked. He's just got a good, massive head on his shoulders. Have you seen that dude? It's a massive bonce. He's just got a big fucking head. Anyway, you can't cry about it. He beat you. Like, sucked in, dickheads, right? So anyone who complains about that sort of shit, it's the same thing with me, like unwritten rules. Fucking play to the buzzer. Play to the siren. Fucking don't sook. Oh, it's unsportsmanlike. You know what's unsportsmanlike? Getting your heads kicked in because you're shit. Be fucking better. Strive higher. This has been, I don't know. What's it? Fucking motivational speaking with Jim. What's that fucking Anthony Robbins? That giant fucking terrifying dude. You need to harness your shit. It's like, yeah, I do. 100%. All right, Outback Takehouse. It's Thursday at Outback. You know what that means? Oh, yeah, 2 for 1 blooming onions. No prick in Australia knows what the fuck these things are, but it's some sort of deep fried onion made to look like a flower. Sure, and they're only at Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is the only 2 teams that Jimmy Butler would actually help win the NBA title this season are the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors. Only at Outback. I think they're the only 2. Like, the Suns can't get it done and have, like, Booker, Beal, Butler, and KD. They just can't do it. The Lakers are already fucked. And if you just sort of, like, make this happen somehow, D-Lo, first round pick, whatever, you've got LeBron, Jimmy Butler, AD. Just nah. They're not winning the title. The Warriors, if you keep Cumdog Millionaire, if you maybe keep Wiggo, I don't think you can actually make the trade work outside of this because he makes $50 million, but I don't know. As long as he's playing with Steph and Dre, interesting. Interesting. And Milwaukee, as I said, Dame, Giannis, Butler. You can't tell me that, like, Boston is like, we're fine. Boston would be kind of like, it's a little bit tougher than fucking banged up old Chris Middleton. So, just saying. Very, very brief Australian player watch because we've already hit on it. Only Dyson Daniels in action today. Fun game from him as well. As I mentioned, caused all sorts of fucking havoc. Ends up with the 9 points and 4 of 10 shooting, 1-1 from downtown. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 0 steals from the steals leader in the NBA, but caused like 6 other ones. So, not a bad bit of effort from him. And obviously no Rock'em, Sock'em, Block'em, Jock'em, Landa or Jack McVeigh, as I hit on very briefly in the Rockets game. Now, I did want to do that Shane Heal shoot slash role player, Luke Longley Role Player of the Week award. It was just about a weird statistical anomaly that's been thrown out there the last week or two. There is only one player in NBA history with 1,250 steals, 1,250 blocks, and 1,250 threes. And I know that PDX Pete is out there going, Jim, I know. It's Uncle Spliffy. Cliff Robinson, former Portland Trailblazer, who is absolutely a fucking legend in the Portland Trailblazer fan community. He was awesome, obviously, on those Drexler Blazers and gear. Was around for a million years. 1,250 steals, blocks, and threes. Like, I think KD, LeBron are kind of close, but I don't know if they're going to get there. It's just, I think LeBron's like about 130 blocks short. KD's about 120 steals and 30 blocks short. So maybe gets there. Like 120 steals is still a fucking long way, right? So, but that's an interesting one. Like Cliff Robinson was like, he was a one-time all-star and shit, and spent a lot of his time sort of being a player who would absolutely like thrive right now, obviously. That's the epitome of a 3-and-D wing, right? He's just racking up blocks and steals and hitting fucking threes. It's awesome. Also, reportedly loved weed, where he had his own weed strains up there in Portland, Oregon. So, great job, Uncle Spliffy. Right. Patty Mills Game Day Baller. Game Day Twitter check-in. Let's do it. Do. I think we had a Patty Mills tweet. Oh, no, there's one on the Instas. I think it's about here we go. Next stop, Smith's. Pat joined Ryan and Ashley Smith to pay for groceries. Aw, what a legend. God, he looks fucking cool as well. He's going to be, to be honest, who do you reckon is cooler right now in Salt Lake City than Patty Mills? There's fucking nobody. He's like 101. He just looks cool as shit all the time. So that's good. All right, let's do some game previews. Game previews for Friday, December 13. Only 3 games tomorrow. We went 1 of 4 on our picks across the NBA Cup. That sucked. The Warriors did cover, though, so that was kind of handy, but still, jeez. I'm so angry about, like, just going with the numbers rather than the old heart and Atlanta and going, yeah, Trae Young at MSG. They've got wings that they can throw at them too. Anyway, Detroit at Boston tomorrow. It's a weird one. 12.5-point line as well. Jesus. Pistons, okay of late. They beat the Knicks at the start of the week, but I think Boston having a bit of a refresh and coming out absolutely firing after a little bit of a break, especially at home. I think this is like a bit of a settler, having lost to Memphis last week. I think Boston come out and probably eke this one out. Like, eke out over the 12.5. Because Boston, like, they had this big run where they were kind of like, oh, we're going to beat everybody, but we're not going to just smash some teams. And they had a couple of smashings in there. They beat Milwaukee and I think covered that one too. But still, I feel like they're substantially better than Tobias Harris and co. So I think Boston can win this one pretty handily. Let's take Boston minus 12.5. Then we have Toronto and Miami. Now, I just mentioned the Scotty Barnes situation in Toronto. Fucked his ankle. Stats guy was betting on him. Stats guy get bent out of shape. Oh, geez. And away we go. The Heat. How much does this Jimmy Butler situation fuck them up? I don't know. But I feel like it lights a fire under their ass more than anything. And without Scotty Barnes running the show there in Toronto, I feel pretty bad. 10.5-point line. It's pretty big. I feel like Toronto can cover this. Maybe. Because they've only just played these two teams a bunch of times already. So you look at it and go, yeah, they were really, really good up there in Toronto, were the Raptors. And then how's it all set up for the next matchup? It's like probably not great, but the Heat won last time, 121-111 in Miami, and then the Raptors turned around and beat them like a day or two later. I'm going to say the Raptors cover. I think they can just do it. They've lost 3 on the trot. The Heat have won 3 straight. They've beaten good teams. They've all been at home. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to have to go Miami, actually. Fuck that. We're flipping it. Jimmy Butler to just go ham and go, come on, trade for me. I'm really good. Miami, minus 10.5. Then we have Sacramento at New Orleans. Can you trust the Kings? Maybe. They're 5.5-point favorites in New Orleans. I'm going to take the Pelicans getting 5.5 at home. What is that, Jim? Well, DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, their wings. Kind of just trust them a little bit more than this Sacramento Kings team. But the thing is, the Kings could actually still go out and just drop 140 on everybody, and we wouldn't be that surprised. Oh, maybe we have to go the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. Who's stopping Sabonis on the Pelicans? They don't have Spindles Ingram. They don't have Zion. They've got a rookie center. Yeah. Sacramento should probably tear them up, shouldn't they? I think the Pelicans have one of the worst defenses in the NBA as well. Let's check that. I reckon we can check that right now and sort of see, in terms of points allowed, the Pelicans are 23rd. Yeah, I think the Kings can probably put one on them. So we'll go Boston, Miami, and Sacramento. That's 3 favorites. Don't usually like doing that, but I think I just made my case for each of them pretty nicely as well. And I guess that's it. Nice one. Good job, Jim. Thanks, everybody. That'll do us for today. How good were those games? How good is the NBA Cup? So we've got, the Vegas semifinals. What is that, Sunday? So I guess we'll preview those on tomorrow's show. We'll probably have lines for them as well because those teams won't play before then, so that's kind of cool. Because we usually do our weekend preview. We only have lines for the Saturday games. The Sunday's always a bit up in the air. But we'll probably have it this week, so that's kind of fun. So we'll set up the entire weekend on tomorrow's show. We'll wrap the 3 games that we talked about just then. And that'll be the fun NBA Straya Friday show. Trust me, it's always fun. That's what we do here. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff. And get around us on Dabble. Click on the link in the show description or just under, one of the tweets or in the comments, whatever. If you're into that, you can follow along all the pics, all the vibes. They're all going in there, so check them out. Get around NFL Australia with myself and Gaz as well. That was a good show this week. Just saying. Pretty good. Also, the article I wrote on week 15 is up now. Check us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, Spotify, your weird Android apps, whatever you do there. For this show, NFL Australia, as well as all the other shows, we've got the AFL Today Show, AFLW, Cricket Today Podcast. What do we got? We're going to test starting up pretty soon, and BBL back on the weekend. So the boys are all over the Supercoach, all the good stuff there. Check it out. What else? Football Today Podcast. Hold all tickets for your GGs as well. I think they've got a brand new show up today. Isn't that right, Producer Gerald? Yeah, he's nodding. Good stuff. Otherwise, big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinating Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, iOS Extra, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. So smash them all on Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey. Follow along. Support Australian bands. That's what we do here on NBA Straya. All right, that'll do us. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? I'm going to go smash some tins. I'll catch you tomorrow. Later, Hosanna!